Sean as the love of your life.
Right. Well, maybe I should clarify that statement. I mean, I think I've never loved anyone with such a pure idealism as I loved Sean. And that's probably why I married him. You know? It was a very important relationship in my life.
You have, you've been in some good, successful films.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Tracy, Truth or Dare, League of Their Own, Desperately Seeking Susan. Mm-hmm. You have been in some bad and failed movies. Mm-hmm. Shanghai Surprise, Who's That Girl, Body of Evidence. Do you think in those that failed, your acting contributed to their failure? Assuming the converse is true, that your acting contributed to the success of the other ones that succeeded.
I think Shanghai Surprise and Body of Evidence were bad movies that I was good in, and I think Who's That Girl was a bad movie that I was bad in.
Hey, I'm a thief, I admit that, but I never killed anybody.
All right.
I was spraying, Loudon. I was going with this guy named Johnny, small-time booster.
What would a good review mean at this point to you for your acting?
The whole world.
Oh, come on. I mean, you've already got as big a bank account, as big a name as you want. I mean, what difference would it make?
Well, money doesn't make people happy,
Understood.
As you know. Well, it would make a really big difference, because then I think that I would probably have the opportunity to do a lot more movies and do a lot of things that I would like to do filmically.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you need a good review?
I don't, personally. I know that I'm a good actress, but I think other people, you know, the masses who are so easily swayed, as you know, they need to read it.
Do you think it is possible for your acting efforts to be judged on their own merits?
Yes. I think it has to do with timing. For instance, Body of Evidence came out right after my sex book, and everybody was already, like, running to burn me at the stake, so it doesn't really matter what movie I would have done at that point. And I also think it has to do with the project itself. Is the project large enough to contain my baggage?
Have you given up on the idea of being judged fairly or objectively?
That's a good question. No, I haven't given up. I've given up on thinking that it's going to happen overnight, but I haven't given up on it. I still have hope that people are going to eventually see me for who I am.
Musically, you've had a good year. Is music still central to everything you do? I mean, is it still the number one priority?
No, being happy is the number one priority.
Professionally speaking.
I guess so. I mean, it's my first love. So,
first loves don't always last.
This is true. But you never forget them.
Of course not. But if Evita goes well and the reviews are as wonderful as you'd hope for them to be, and acting becomes increasingly attractive, does continuing with a musical career become less attractive?
No. It just means I'm busier. I don't think I'd ever want to stop writing music. Ever.
You have, as I understand, had more hits than any woman in history. How important is the record to you?
Well, it's nice, but it's not something I think about. Truly, I didn't even know what you just told me.
Give me a break.
I swear to God, I thought like Whitney Houston was ahead of me or something.
She's closing fast, I understand.
Oh, who cares?
Well, that answers my next question. Do you care?
No.
You don't care?
Mm-mm.
Mariah can pass, Janet can pass, doesn't matter. Whitney can pass, doesn't matter. Who cares?
Well, they can't do what I do. What is that? All that mean, anyways? A list. Everyone's too obsessed with lists. I mean, I don't mind being on top. Don't worry, I'm not like complaining about it or anything.
What happens after Evita's done?
I collapse in a heap.
Will you make a concerted attempt after it's wrapped to lay low so that it's judged on its own merit?
Oh, yes, I will. So considerable. Yes.
And lay low she will. Madonna's Baby is due in October. Disney has moved the release date of Evita from November to late December.